Hello everyone, welcome back to On Running After One's Hat by G.K. Chesterton. Refresh your memory. In the last class, we have seen Chesterton discussing the title of the essay, that is, On Running After One's Hat. Why running after one's hat is generally considered as an unpleasant activity. One reason is that running makes one tired. Another reason is that it makes others laugh. It is true that running after one's hat is comic. Chesterton says that man himself is a comic creature. Everything he does is comic to a certain extent. Chesterton even says that eating is a comic activity. He adds that comic activities in life are really worth doing, valuable. Just like eating, another example is sexual activity. It may seem comical activity but valuable because sexual activity by sexual activity human beings exist in the world, continue to exist in the world, reproduces. Running after one's hat is better than running after one's wife. That is how Chesterton explain it. Now let us move on to the fourth para. Now a man could, if he felt rightly in the matter, run after his hat with the manliest ardor and the most sacred joy. So, what Chesterton means is that considering running after the hat from a new point of view, now a man can run without any guilt, without any feeling that this is an unpleasant activity. He can run after the hat with a manly energy, manly ardor, and with a sacred joy or divine kind of joy. So these are humorous expressions, don't take it so seriously. So now that a man understands that running after hat is not an unpleasant activity, now he can run after a hat without any guilt, without any feeling that it is an unpleasant activity, uh, uh, with a manly energy and with a sacred feeling. He might regard himself, he might consider himself as a jolly means joyful, huntsman, hunter, pursuing, following a wild animal. So he can imagine himself that he is not running after a hat. Instead, he is a hunter. He can imagine that he is a joyful hunter, pursuing, following a wild animal, not a hat. For certainly, no animal could be wilder. No animal could be wilder means flying hat is like a wild animal. So there is no wrong in comparing a hat with a wild animal, because a flying hat can be considered as a wild animal. In fact, I am inclined to believe that is Chesterton is believing that hat hunting on windy days will be the sport of the upper classes in the future. This is a humorous observation. So Chesterton feels that in the coming days, in future, hat hunting on windy days will be a sport, a fun activity of the upper classes in the future. And also he goes on with his observation that there will be a meet in future. There will be a meeting of ladies and gentlemen on some high ground on a gusty windy morning. So in the near future, people will understand the fun element behind running after one's hat, and the upper class ladies and gentlemen will be having meetings on high ground on some hilly area on a windy morning, and they will be told that the professional attendants have started a hat in such and such a thicket, or whatever be the technical term. So, and when these people, when the upper class ladies and gentlemen will meet on a hilly place, they will be told that professional attendants, servants, they will be arranging a game in which hats will be hidden among the bushes, from where they will have to find it. So, hat in such and such thicket is an observation by Chesterton, which is a type of game in which hats will be hidden among the bush, and the players should find them. So, this is something that will happen in the near future. Uh, just humorous observations. So, just a summary of what we have said till now. Considering running after hat from a new point of view, now a man can run after his hat without thinking that it is an unpleasant activity. He can even imagine that he is a hunter running after an animal. The pleasure of hat hunting is great. Chesterton humorously observes that in near future there will be hat hunting games conducted by upper class people, especially on windy mornings. They will start a game where hats will be hidden among bushes from where from where it should be found out. Continuing with the paragraph. Notice that this employment means this game will in the fullest degree combine sport with humanitarianism, being human. So this game will be very unique in the sense that it will be a combination of sports as well as humanitarianism, as well as being kind, being human. The hunters would feel that they were not inflicting pain or causing pain. Nay, that is no. They would feel that they were inflicting pleasure, rich, almost riotous great pleasure upon the people who were looking on. So, hat hunting is really sports activity as well as human activity. In the sense that in the real hunting, we have to kill animals. Here, no animal is harmed. So, moreover, watching somebody hunting a hat will give pleasure to the onlookers. So, this is at the same time a sport as well as a humanitarian activity, because in hunting, real hunting, we will have to kill animals. Here, no animal is killed. Moreover, it is great pleasure to watch somebody running after a hat. So, when I last saw an old gentleman running after his hat in Hyde Park is a place in London. So, when Chesterton happened to see an old gentleman running after his hat, I told him that a heart so benevolent means kindly, a heart so benevolent as his ought to be filled with peace. So, when Chesterton saw an old gentleman running after hat, Chesterton was very much impressed with him, and he went to that man and said that his heart is so great, heart is so big, benevolent, kind, and that he wished that peace, there will be peace of mind for him, and said thanks to him at the thought of how much unaffected pleasure means pure pleasure, his every gesture means movement of the body, every gesture and bodily attitude were at that moment giving to the crowd. So Chesterton also thanked him because his bodily movement, the old gentleman's bodily movement, bodily attitude gave pure pleasure to the people on the road. So when Chesterton saw an old gentleman running after his hat, Chesterton became impressed and told him that his that is the gentleman's heart is really kind. His mind will get peace, Chesterton wished. The old the old gentleman's every moment and attitude provided pleasure to the crowd. So that's it. We are stopping here with this paragraph. Read the paragraph again and again, and try to understand the meaning of it from with the help of the video. Thank you.